Let me now bring in Cathryn Hayes and Steve Thatcher from Revive. Hello to you both. Cathryn, let's start with you and talk to me a little bit about the business and why people might want to get involved.
Thanks, Ben. Hello, everybody. So I'm Cathryn Hayes. I'm the franchise director at Revive. And what we do is we provide a service repairing minor damage to cars. So it's the sort of thing that you find when you come back to your car in a supermarket car park. So bumper scuffs, alloy wheel scrapes, that sort of thing. And our skilled technicians work on a mobile basis. So we come to the customer, whether that's a member of the public coming to their home or car dealerships. And we also have a range of national account customers, so quite a broad customer base, really. So Revive was formed in 2004, and we've got 55 franchisees across the UK. And we also have a company-owned business, so we've got 35 technicians of our own. So together with our franchisees, we've got about 200 technicians across the UK, ranging around in their Revive vans, mending people's cars. So the franchisees, as Steve mentioned earlier in his Q&A with Ben, first thing when we started today, he was one of our original franchisees, so actually started as the man in the van and has reinvented himself over the years and got out of that. But nowadays, we start people with two vans, two specialist technicians, and that leaves them free to grow their business, to build the customer base, and to really grow, because we're all very ambitious for the growth that we want to see. Just touching on, and I'm going to ask Steve about this, but you do get great support as a Revive franchisee. We've got a fantastic team at head office whose role is to support the franchisees. And I think because we've got 35 techs of our own, we're seeing at very close quarters, you know, what's happening in the marketplace, what are the challenges, where the customers are coming from. So we're able to translate that quickly to the franchisees and make sure that we're all working together in the best possible way. We've got a great IT platform as well, which provides a lot of management information data and does all the things like the invoicing and everything else. So that's enough from me. So I'm going to throw over to Steve a couple of questions. And obviously, Steve, you've owned your franchise for 17 years and seen a huge amount of changes in that time. Can you talk to us a bit about how your role is now compared to what it was originally? I mean, originally you were the man in the van and you had to do a bit of everything. How do you run your business now? What's your day like?
It's over the last 17 years, it's changed beyond belief, really. The Revive model as such has changed a fair bit. When I first got involved, which was 2004, you know, my van was like number 4 in the country, I think, when I first branded as Revive. And, you know, back then I was, as you say, doing everything. So that meant the technical delivery of the repairs, you know, out painting cars. And I did, to begin with, I'd never done that before. So I started with a sort of 5-week intensive training course up at our head office area in Rugby. That's then led to me, after perhaps 3 or 4 years of honing those skills and becoming confident in the delivery of what we were selling, to then start to look to expand. And we took on a couple of technicians. Now, sort of 17 years later, I've 5 technicians who do all of the technical delivery of the work. We have a guy, sort of back office support member of staff now, who does a lot of the retail inquiries, you know, dealing with the retail inquiries that come through our website, generated by the website for the general public work. And a lot of my time is spent in terms of managing the relationships with our customers. A large chunk of what we do, we work in the motor trade. So working directly with sales teams within big car dealerships and managing that process and ensuring that we're continuing to deliver the sort of level of service that they've come to expect and need from us to enable them to sell more cars. So, yeah, it's changed an awful lot. I don't do any of the painting anymore, which is great. It's something that I've worked hard to get away from. I was painting for 12 years. We're now into just approaching 18 years. So, you know, I'm not the technical guy anymore. I've got a sort of like a team leader who manages the sort of day-to-day operations, and a number of technicians who sort of report into him on a daily basis.
That's great, thanks. And can you talk a little bit about how the support and the training from Revive has helped you change that role, really? Because you've gone from not employing anybody, so you've only got to think about yourself, and now you've got a bigger team and you've stepped back and you play a different role. How has the training over the years helped you change?
Well, do you know, probably if I wasn't involved in a franchised system, I think I may still be out there as a man in a van. I think it's been absolutely critical to the growth of the business to be involved, certainly from my point of view, entering into an industry and a sector that I had no previous experience in. I came from a sales background, so being able to understand a product and then sell its benefits has never been an issue. So the sales side of things was never really a problem for me. But in terms of then growing a business and coming away from the technical delivery of the service, Revive, I would say maybe 5 or 6 years ago, started what they call the Accelerated Growth Program, whereby, you know, some of the franchisees who were interested in taking their business up to the next level and entering into a period of growth, we all got together. We put together, you know, business plans as a group. So they formulated these sort of peer groups, which allowed us all to kind of feed off each other, as well as providing external resource on certain aspects of being able to grow the business, like, you know, like for instance, you know, just managing a group of guys. How can we get better at that? And looking at the financial side of the business and how we can, you know, look at how we're performing and monitor the performance of what we're doing, as well as providing my technicians with technical training. So, you know, there's a state-of-the-art training centre now in Rugby, which wasn't there when I first started. We were out in the cold painting cars on dealership sites to learn the trade. Now it's all done in a very controlled environment. And so I still send my guys up there for certain development needs when necessary. So all of those things combined, you know, I think it's given me certainly the push and the pull that I needed, I guess, to sort of grow to where I am today.
And what about future plans? What are your next sort of stages with the business?
Well, we're constantly growing over the last 3 or 4 years. As I said, I guess I was fairly slow to kind of get on the growth road, maybe 4 years before I took on my first technician. The future is looking very bright. We've just taken on we lost a technician through the lockdown, unfortunately, just as I'm sure everyone in a franchise has struggled during that period. But we're back up to, you know, full capacity with 5 vans. We have a dedicated alloy wheel van and 4 paint vans, and we are, you know, looking to grow our business over the next, double the size of the business over the next 4 years, essentially.
Excellent. What's the best piece of advice you would give somebody looking to buy their first franchise?
I think it's probably taking a look at the systems that are in place within the franchisor. Obviously, there's due diligence in terms of looking at the marketplace that you're going to be working into. So, you know, looking at the local market, the competition, and the pricing and the sort of financial picture, but also, you know, what the franchisor could offer you to help you build that business, and that's things like a training program. Help with any sort of business development, any I'd be interested to understand any sort of national. Revive run a really good national account business where the head office staff are working with some of the bigger insurance providers to offer our services on a national basis. So that's work that I don't really have to work to get. It just arrives at my doorstep. So that's been great as well. I think as well, looking at things like the IT systems that are provided and the back office support that you would get are all really important factors when you're looking at a franchise. You know, what systems are in place behind the scenes to help you and support you in the day-to-day running and the ongoing growth of the business.
That's great. Thanks, Steve. And Ben's giving me the look, so I think that might be our time is up. Is that right, Ben?
Thank you. Thanks, Catherine. Thanks,
Yeah.
Steve. Really interesting to hear those stories. And everyone's got a different story, but there are so many common themes, aren't there?